Hello community, today it's the August patch notes. Yes, I know I am a little bit late, but let's face it, the Sarajevo Six and the Trinity Pack were a little bit more important, so I decided to cover them first and leave the patch notes for later, because to be brutally honest, I didn't feel like reading through all of the nonsense that's written in here. So anyways, let's just get to the meat of the matter. I suggest we spend more time on the things that matter and less on certain patches that, to be brutally honest, most people won't care about either way. However, the very first thing on the list starting out is the Trinity Pack. And the only problem I really have with the Trinity Pack is it costs $5 where it should cost $3. And that, in my opinion, makes it a little bit overpriced because, okay, listen, this is a pre-order bonus. A pre-order bonus cannot be released for free. It just can't. It's never been done by anybody that I best know of. Even in Mortal Kombat, pre-order bonuses are never free. You can buy them separately, but you will never get it free after it's been a pre-order bonus. It just doesn't work like that. However, for 3 costume packs, to get them for $3, I think that would have been a good deal. It's a Trinity Pack for $3, I think it would have been fine. However, costing you $5, in my opinion, a little bit too much. That's $2 more than, in my opinion, this thing is worth it. But even moving past it to the Sarajevo Six, I think the way they chose to do the Sarajevo Six is a very clear demonstration of where Hitman 3 is headed. And I mean, let's face reality, it's Hitman 3 Year 3. There's not that much left. We're a lot closer to the end of Hitman 3 than we are at the beginning. And the Sarajevo 6, in my opinion, especially because we've been missing fresh new content ever since Freelancer, which was late January, we've really been missing something new that we haven't seen in a while. And the Sarajevo 6, although not new, at least it's been a bit since most people have played it. It was a 2016 exclusive. So it would have been really great to have it free. Not for any other reason, but first of all, it was already free when it came out in 2016, I'm pretty sure it was. But on top of that, if you want to keep players around after such a long period of drought where there was just nothing going on in Hitman, making this free would have been a great opportunity for people to be able to get their hands on it, to get back into Hitman, to get back into the game, and fall back in love with it if they've, not played for a while. But instead, they decided, no, it's gonna cost $5 if you want to play it. And like I said earlier, I mean, for $5, especially after such a long period of absolutely no content, it's not a bad deal. But at the same time, in my opinion, now they're looking at Hitman 3, or Hitman World of Assassination, whatever you want to call it. I think I was looking at it very much as this sort of income, where they're just trying to get some kind of income from it, but they don't really care if players stick around or not, because for fuck's sakes, like, they're not that stupid. They know there's not gonna be that many people who are gonna buy this content, but they don't care because any money is better than no money in their eyes. They don't need to keep people around in Hitman 3. If Hitman 3 dies, it doesn't matter. They've already made their money for it. They've already done their thing. They're pretty much at the end of it. I mean, I'm pretty sure December or January 2024, we're gonna get a statement that, okay, it's been fun, it's been good, but we've come to the end of the support of Hitman 3. I think it's gonna happen. It's not far, honestly, in my opinion. And when it happens, I mean, again, it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, I'm gonna be mad a little bit, I'm not gonna lie about that, because in my opinion, it could have been done a little bit better. But at the same time, 3 years of releasing content, even though that content wasn't always that fresh, I can't blame them for it. Ambrose Island, Freelancer, there was quite a bit of stuff in this game that was released for free also. In my personal opinion, the support wasn't the greatest, but at the same time, it was present, it was there, it was way better than most companies. I mean, just ask Red Dead Online and Rockstar Games, or fucking ask any game out there, any single player game that's been supported for 3 years. There hasn't been that many, honestly, especially with free support for the most part as well. So overall, in my opinion, this just shows that they've changed their perspective on Hitman 3 and Hitman World of Assassination, for fuck's sake. This is Hitman 3. For me, this will always be Hitman 3. I think the new name doesn't really fit that well anyways. This is Hitman 3, they can rename it any way they like, but World of Assassination just sounds so ridiculous to me. Like, I could never get used to that name, honestly. For me, this is always gonna be Hitman 3. But anyways, I think it just shows again that they've changed their perspective on what they want to do with the game. It's no longer about trying to keep people around, it's just let's see if we can get some extra money out of players. And although that is a bit sad, at the same time, at this point of the life cycle, it is somewhat to be expected. From there, we're gonna go to certain patch fixes that they've done, some ray tracing, DLSS, hand to port to some textures and things like that, some stability improvements for landslide. No big deal really, this is just some overall bug fixes and things like that when it comes to the actual graphics, more or less, when it comes to textures and stuff like that. So nothing really to talk about here, regular changes, nothing out of the ordinary. However, from there we're gonna get to Perfect Run, and here's what they have to say. We've disabled this objective in Freelancer, like straight up removed it from the game. Now the reason they've done that is because Perfect Run, for those who don't know, let me first explain to you what Perfect Run is. Perfect Run was a prestige objective in Freelancer on hardcore mode, and what it used to do, Perfect Run, is basically you had to complete all of your optional objectives in order to accomplish your prestige objective. So for example, you would have maybe like kill 3 guards with a sniper, or you know, Faberwar kill, or whatever the fuck, and you would just get those objectives done, right? And then when you get all of them done, you succeed with Perfect Run. Now, the problem with that prestige objective was it wasn't working properly. A lot of players would accomplish all of their optional objectives, and either Perfect Run would not be accomplished, or it would say that it's accomplished, but it would still fail the campaign. And again, in hardcore mode, if you fail your prestige objective, you will fail the mission, you will fail the campaign. So this is something that can be very, very frustrating to players, to do everything the right way on the most difficult mode imaginable, and to fail because the game is buggy. That's a pretty shitty thing, but here's the deal, that came out, what was it, late January I think? Unless Perfect Run was added later, I'm not sure, maybe it was added after they added the whole delete your gear and get like a new mode. I'm not sure when Perfect Run was added, I'm not sure if it was there from the beginning or if it was added later. All I know is it's been a couple of months at least that Perfect Run has been in the game, and it's been a buggy mess ever since release, so bad that they removed it. And the fact that so many players have probably had their runs and campaigns completely destroyed by this thing, it's really disheartening, to be brutally honest, because the grind is insane in hardcore mode. And better yet, we're just seeing the level of incompetence of the skeleton crew that is left at IO Interactive, because that's what they're saying. They're saying they don't know what to do. They don't know why it's failing, because they don't know. Unfortunately, we don't have a definitive reason for why this objective is acting like it is and registered as failed despite all the criteria being completed. They don't know. They've evaluated it. They cannot understand it. They cannot understand their own game. This is their game. They created this thing. They don't know how to fix it. Now, for me, it's not so much that IO doesn't know how to fix it, it's that the skeleton crew left at Hitman 3, they don't know how to fix it. I think most of the top guns are already have made their way to Project 007 and their other projects that they're working on, and I think this is just what's left, the people that are left. And I'm not trying to bury them, I mean, I'm sure they're trying their best, but it just shows that they are not fully capable, for lack of a better term. They don't have the knowledge to really fix the game properly when it comes to the serious issues. As you will see in just a moment, they have no problem rotating trees and moving certain objects, but when it comes to like straight up real problems, they don't know what to do. From there we're gonna get to Alt F4, and basically what they're saying is that it's coming back for Freelancer. So what used to happen, and this is a bit of a long story, but just keep up with me, I'll explain to you exactly what the fuck happened here. So what went down was, before Freelancer was released, or during the release of Freelancer, IO went out and said, okay, listen, we know Alt F4 can be used as an exploit to sort of, quit Freelancer if things get heavy and come back into the game. But they said, you know what, we don't want to punish players that maybe have a bad experience, that maybe get stuck, have a bug, or that maybe their computer shuts down, whatever, so we're not gonna bother with Alt F4, we're not gonna remove that. That's what they said in the beginning. Then a couple of months into it, they decided, you know what, fuck what we said, we're removing Alt F4. You use Alt F4, you lose your campaign. Now that's a very big problem for someone like me, because I use Alt F4 all the damn time just as a way to exit the game. I mean, literally, I can be in Freelancer, but I Alt F4 just to exit the game. And that can cause you problems, legitimately, so I had to like stop doing that. Even if you don't use it for like bug fixes, a lot of players use it just to exit games quicker, which is what I do a lot of the times also. But anyways, now they've decided to bring it back for some reason, And again, it's this constant thing of like, they're saying it's gonna stay, then they're taking it away, now they're bringing it back. It's just like they cannot make up their mind about Out 4. And by this point, they're bringing it back. It's like putting on a hood after a thunderstorm. It's like it's a little bit too late at this point to buy an umbrella. The storm's already over. It's done. You know, you should have thought about it a little bit earlier when you were making these decisions. But anyways, for the 12 people watching this video who still play Freelancer, congratulations, Out 4 is back. And I'm sure you are very, very happy, or just don't give a fuck either way. But from there, we're gonna go to the undercover UI. We've removed a rogue UI element that could show up in a storage room in Miami when playing Freelancer. Similar story for a UI icon that could appear on the Intel wall in the safe house. I have no idea what this is, so let's just move on. From there, Black Winter Mirror. They've resolved an issue where the winter suit and the black winter suit don't look very good in the upstairs bathroom. Who gives a crap? Chloroform ban. So, we've made dropping a chloroform flask an illegal action that was deemed to be a little bit too overpowered, especially during showdown missions. Now, I guess what people were doing was they were just dropping the chloroform and it just exploded on impact like the grenade would, like the emetic gas grenade would. I've never done this. I have no idea. I've never used chloroform in that manner. I didn't even know you could. So I guess you could just drop the chloroform for some reason and maybe that'll get some kind of a reaction. I really don't know. I've never done this before with chloroform. As you know, chloroform is not an item that is available, to my best knowledge, in Hitman outside of Freelancer. Like, you can't bring it with you, you can't really test with it. So because of that, like, I legitimately don't know much about the chloroform ban, but I guess that was something people were doing. Safe house hanger. We've resolved an issue in Freelancer where the Mastery Level 24 basement bathroom cosmetic wasn't displaying properly. Oh no! That is such a shame. I am so happy they fixed that issue. I don't know what I would have done if that wasn't fixed. Thank goodness. General texture check. We've done a general sweep of textures across all locations and fixed a whole bunch, approximately 35, of different texture issues. I'm glad they've done that, and pop-ups. Oversized subtitles. They've added a new upper limit on the front size of their subtitles from 46 to 48. Obtuse gas grenade glow. The gas grenade was glowing way too much, blah blah blah. Difficult camera. We've resolved an issue where a throwable item would lock onto invisible security cameras on casual difficulty. So basically, I guess if you played on casual difficulties, cameras that are present in professional mode would still be there but just be invisible, so you'd be able to lock onto them. I didn't know that was a thing, but I guess it is. Bathroom break. We resolved an issue where a guard in the Voltaire suite in Paris would react to the radio in the Sheik's bathroom. That's way too far, even for game logic, so we've prevented him from investigating in the future. Where the fuck is Voltaire's suite in Paris? I've played Paris since 2016. I have never in my entire life heard the name Voltaire's suite in Paris. How the hell are you even supposed to know by name where this thing is? Like, where this takes place? I have no idea where this is. I know the map perfectly, but like, I have no clue what the names of different rooms and corridors is. I never look at that shit. I'm kind of like that in real life as well. Like, when it comes to like traversing the city and things like that, I know the city like perfectly. In my mind, I can see it perfectly, but like when it comes to naming things, when it comes to like, this is the name of this street, or this is the name of this block, I'm hopeless. I don't know shit, honestly. Like, I know, like, if you tell me what's there, I can somewhat figure it out, but when it comes to just like giving you names to try to like get you to go from point A to point B, that ain't me, because I'm not good with that shit at all. From there, yet another disappearance. We've resolved an issue where Dino Boss could immediately depart the world by the quickest possible route through the floor if 47 snapped his neck in his trailer. Funny enough, I've actually done that kill quite a couple of times, snapping his neck in the trailer. Never had him disappear through the floor, but I guess for some players it happened, so there it is. Escape room. We've resolved an issue where Agent 47 could get stuck in a box in Colorado after subduing an NPC from cover. There wasn't much real estate to move things around here, but we've made a nearby cover slightly smaller and rotated a crate. This is how these people are fixing the issues. They're rotating crates and they're making covers slightly smaller. Just letting you know of how much creative input they have on the actual levels. That's how they're fixing these bugs. I'm telling you, all they've done, I looked for some of these bugs earlier, all they've done is they've just rotated trees and covers and made things smaller. I mean, it's insane the simplicity in which they approach this game. It's incredible, honestly. Clean view. We've resolved an issue where Agent 47 could get spotted through a wall in Hokkaido whilst performing agility moves next to the sushi restaurant. Okay, I have a slight idea of where that is. But I'm not sure about exactly the wall which it is. Look at the shine. Nolan Cassidy's jacket could look way too shiny, which doesn't fit his look. So now they've toned it down, basically. Even game makers don't hate you. We've resolved an issue with Miami where it was possible to clip through a box and vault over the stairs near the track bridge. Great. More Fortuna. We've resolved an issue where an inaccessible door in Santa Fortuna near the warehouse can be shot open, which causes it to clip into the environment. Now the door is bulletproof and it has nothing to lose. If the door is meant to be inaccessible, why put a door in the first place? What's the point of putting a door in a level that is not made to be open? Why would you do that? It literally makes no sense. If you're gonna put a warehouse that is not meant to be accessible, don't put the bloody warehouse to begin with. Why the fuck would you do that? It's just, there's no logic for why they do some of these things. Why would you put a door in Hitman if the door cannot be unlocked? I mean, here's the deal. This is not Grand Theft Auto. This is not one of those things where it's like, we can have like countless doors everywhere and they mean nothing. This is Hitman. This is a logistical game. This is a game where, you know, you have to sort of look at the environment and you have to make decisions. If you are in a shitty situation, you're like, oh shit, I better get out of here. Oh look, there's a door over there. Let me see where it's gonna lead me. And you go over there and you find out, oh no, this door doesn't work. This is just a prop. I think you'd be a little bit concerned. But anyways, extensive indoor flora. We've resolved an issue where branches from a nearby tree can be seen venturing through the concrete roof of the Delgado Mansion garage in Santa Fortuna. We've fixed this issue in a surprisingly simple way. We've rotated the tree a little bit so that the angles line up and keep the branches out of the garage. This is how these people work on Hitman. They rotate trees. I mean, this is the way they fix things. And by the way, look at the level. This is how far they are when it comes to bug fixes. There's nothing else to fix, so they're rotating trees because they don't want leaves to get into the Delgado Mansion garage. This is how far we've come with Hitman. They have nothing else to fix. They're just going around rotating trees, rotating buckets. That's all they have left to do. No more X-ray. We've resolved an issue on the Isle of Gale where 47 could be spotted through the wall of the gatehouse bathroom. I'm not sure where that is, as I said earlier. Surprise death wall. We've resolved an issue where NPCs, not 47, would be insta-killed when they got too close to a specific wall in Isles Gale. Ironically enough, the death wall is located in the morgue and would kill any NPC who was right up against it. To remedy this, we added some extra collision along the wall, but that didn't work. We could see that NPCs were able to step just outside of the nav mesh bounce, basically the area that they are allowed to be. And although we tried a few other changes, the death wall kept on claiming victims. Now we have fixed the issue by adding a bunch of boxes and stuff right next to the wall to keep the NPCs away. Despite the fix, death wall is still there and waiting to claim more lives. Stay frosty. I mean, you can't move the wall back or forward, you can't this seems like such a simple issue to fix, and their way of fixing it is just adding a bunch of boxes. I don't know, I mean, I'm sure they're trying their best, but this is just reading this stuff is hilarious, because you're just like, my goodness, these people are amateurs. What are you doing? You're gonna add boxes? You can't just move the damn thing? It's just like I guarantee you the people who are working on these things have no clue how these levels were created for the most part. And they're just working on like very, very simple stuff. They can add props, they can move props, but they have no clue how it actually works. Like, they have no clue how to actually make things better, how to fix things. All they can do is just move things around and add different things, remove things. That's all they can do. Dirty money. We've resolved an issue where floating dirt texture in New York Bank was visible in the West Corridor. I don't know if that's an issue, because let's face it, New York, it's pretty fucking dirty. Bulldog bedroom balcony. We've resolved an issue where Agent 47 could drop down from a ledge in Dartmoor by using an agility setup from cover. So that's for the speedrunners out there, I guess you're a bit fucked. eats, shoots, and leaves. We've resolved an issue in Dartmoor where some leaves on the ground were not displaying properly and instead would appear as small black squares. Also in Dartmoor, we've resolved several instances where textures would flicker. So again, I am not sure, never noticed anything wrong with Dartmoor, but I guess some people have. Again, these are small fixes, but you know, better than nothing, I guess. If it's a problem and you can fix it, fix it. The question is, why aren't you able to fix the big things? And also, why are you taking so long to fix them as well? That's sort of the big thing here. Cover up. We've resolved a few issues in Berlin with several redundant covers being present, both near the gas station and the rooftop stairs. Glow sticks. We've resolved an issue in Berlin where certain climbable pipes weren't visible in Instinct. We've added the traversal glow to these now. Good, that's a good change. Okay, it's a small change, but it's a good change. From homing to disappearing. We've resolved an issue in Chongqing where retrieving a large weapon from a briefcase in certain rooms could result in the briefcase disappearing onto the floor. It turns out that the issue was caused by the setup, a specific type of door in this location. Now let me say this first. Weapons disappearing into nothing through the floor is something that happens in Hitman on a daily basis to me. Every time I play Hitman, pretty much every single day I've ever played Hitman, I have had weapons, usually assault rifles, disappear through the floor. This happens constantly. It's non-stop. I had it in Bangkok. I had a whole assault rifle fall from the top floor all the way down and be found by the guards underneath. I mean, I've had times the floors, the way they're created, weapons fall through them all the time. I've had it happen in Colorado. I've had it happen in a couple of different places. And literally, it's been one of those things where it's like I've thought about it. And here's the reason why. In the Sarajevo Six, the mercenary, this is very important. I was trying out a certain strategy. I wasn't sure. This was at the very beginning. I was like, let me think about this. If I take the shotguns from the guys who are in the shed and I position them alongside my pistol, will his bodyguards basically pick up the weapons and fuck off and leave me alone with the target? That was something that I was trying out. Again, when I do routes, when I show you guides, I try out many different alternatives, and when I have come up with a really good one that is solved and everything else, that's when I showcase it. But this was something I was trying. This was a plan of mine. I was like, let me see if this can be done. And you know what happened? I took the shotguns, I dropped them on the ground, and they all just flew right underneath. They all just disappeared like they were in the witness protection program. It was instant disappearance. So yeah, this is something that happens in Hitman quite a bit, and if you're not careful, it can cause you quite a bit of trouble. From there, we're gonna go to dirty laundry. We've tweaked the properties of the garbage can / rubber bin in Chongqing, so that is no longer used by NPCs as a sick spot. Now they will vomit, throw up outside of the building. Electricity. We have resolved an issue where 47 could accidentally create an elaborate accident kill on himself. He's just that good. On level 5 of the facility in Chongqing, it was possible for 47 to expose a wire and create a water leak, but turning on the fuse box would see 47 caught in his own trap. Whilst it was possible to turn on the fuse box before the water spread to where the fuse box was located, it was tricky. So we've reduced how far the water will spread and delayed it a bit to make it more flexible. It's a small room and the players need to be aware of where they step, but this change will make it less of an insta-kill. Agent Parkour 7. We've tweaked the agility setup near the IC apartments in Chongqing to make it more reliable and less likely to get stuck or fall out of the playable game space. Floored. We resolved an issue on Ambrose Island when NPCs could see 47 through the floor while he was standing in a hut above them. Live fixes. Since our last patch in May, we resolved a handful of issues in the game without the need for a patch. We've listed them here for posterity. Freelancer XP. An issue was resolved where players would not receive the expected bonus XP after reaching prestige level 2 or higher and complete missions. ET challenges. We've resolved separate issues where the Deceivers and Appraiser Elusive Target contracts were activated without the accompanying completion challenges. When this happens, we typically release the challenge immediately to improve the experience for anyone playing the missions after that point. We then wait until the end of the ET duration and retroactively award the challenges to players who should have got them. Even then, this fixed process can only be applied to a player's profile when they are not currently playing online, which meant that some players may see their progression displayed accurately while others don't. We continue to roll out the fixed process until all affected players are seeing correct progression on their profile. Japanese Xbox Store. We resolved a store-side issue for Xbox players in Japan who were unable to install some content from the World of Assassination. And with that, we've come to the end of the patch notes. And here's what I have to say for the whole thing. Overall, this patch, there are some small fixes here and there, very unnoticeable in my opinion, most of them. Some freelancer things that I think most players will probably be happy with, just to get rid of some frustrations. But overall, in my personal opinion, this patch, a missed opportunity really, especially Sarajevo Six not being free. It should have been free, the fact of the matter is, but again, they see Hitman differently. Hitman is no longer the game they're trying to keep alive. Hitman is now the game they just try to get some extra bucks to fuel the next projects they've got coming up. Ultimately, this is a patch that in my opinion is a bit underwhelming. It could have been done a little bit better. They could have done just a little bit better. I mean, some new suits, there's so many unreleased suits that are in the game files. There's so much unreleased content. Why the fuck they're releasing absolutely nothing for such a long time? I don't understand. This game isn't gonna go on forever anyways. There's so much unreleased content. At least get some of it out there while you still have the player base and the chance to do so. But this is pretty much all from me. Thank you very much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more content, and I'll see you next time.